Idaho Industrial Commission. How much is your call?
Yes, Miss Andres, please.
Yes, one moment. Good morning, this is Kenna.
Yes, Kenna. Hi. I got disconnected somehow with Miss Burke was sending me over to you.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, she came in and told me that somehow it had gotten disconnected.
Okay.
So.
Well, yeah, I always get upset about that. But hey, I have a question for you, man. What about this remedy? Now, I'm being told I have 21 days to respond to this this that I received in the mail yesterday, certified. Now.
Okay, I don't know exactly what you received in the mail.
Well,
yesterday.
Have you received their opinion?
Yes.
Well, I have. Now, is that where that remedy comes in? It comes in 21 days after?
Oh, the remitter?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, if the decision says you have 21 days, then it's with them. You wouldn't respond to me. You would respond.
Well, I understand, but I mean, if you're saying that the Supreme Court's done with it, then what's going on here?
Well, according to the appellate rules. Now, again, I can just tell you what the
right, correct.
I can't give you advice, but
right.
According to the appellate rules, anyone who has a case before the Supreme Court and the decision comes out, you have the opportunity to file with them for a rehearing, and that's within 21 days. But it has to be with the Supreme Court, not with us.
Okay, so if I want to so instead of putting the Supreme Court up there, I would want to just put the Idaho State Industrial Commission to request a hearing on the merit of my case.
Well, if you're going back,
because if it's my complaint that is before the Supreme Court, and not my claim. Well, no well about it. I filed a complaint.
I know, Mr. Clark.
And Miss Rachel O'Barr, and Miss Rachel O'Barr was trying during the Supreme Court thing. Miss Rachel O'Barr was contacting me in regard to the settlement offer. So, if that wasn't before the Supreme Court,
right,
then what was she doing? And if that was before the Supreme Court, then what was she doing discussing a settlement offer with me through email, which is electronic?
Now, yesterday we talked and you said that what you're concerned about now is the treatment.
Well, I'm concerned about the whole thing.
From the state insurance fund, is that correct?
Yeah, I filed my complaint.
All right. Now, if you have an objection with the state insurance fund, then that does not go through the Industrial Commission. That would go.
No. I filed a complaint July 2nd of 2009.
Right.
And I filed another complaint in regards to the HIPAA thing also. So, because is there? Do I have two complaint file numbers before the Supreme Court?
No, you would just.
Okay, so they just went ahead and combined those two together, those two complaints together, and still use the.
Okay, excuse me while I look on my screen here to see exactly what.
Because my new complaint, because I filed a hearing. I mean, I filed.
Okay, you filed a complaint in 2008, right?
What year? I mean, what date?
Looks like the injury was in April, and you filed the complaint in July.
Correct. Now, where's my complaint that I filed in July of 2009?
I don't have a record of that.
Is that right? Well, it's in the agency's records.
Let me just a minute now.
That's what I.
Let me go into a different screen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just a moment here. You said you filed another complaint?
Yep, and in the records, I filed it because I wanted to know, because, I wanted my file to stay my second complaint to stay filed at a certain time, but then I got a thing saying that, yeah.
Okay, now.
I can't tell all my secrets.
You'll have to have patience with me because
I know. I understand, ma'am.
I haven't been involved.
I know. But
All right.
I've been taken advantage of, and I understand that a few judges, federal judges, was saying that somewhere in the that was signed off or written by a couple of federal judges that somewhere around the judicial they're having problems. I don't know if that's in the federal or that's in the state, but I know that they wrote letters to this to all the judges around.
Okay,
Yeah, how convenient.
All right, now I'm in this other screen and I see the. Okay, I don't see a complaint in 2009. Was it different? Was it a different injury or for the?
No. It's in regards to the same thing.
Oh, okay. Well,
but it was a complaint in regards to how were they able to, that they had my private health records without my authorization. That was in my second complaint.
Okay. I think what
my first complaint.
Communication between you and me is the title of a complaint, because what we consider a complaint is like your initial saying, okay, I was injured.
No. Well, you see, I didn't file nothing in regards to my claim. My company did. I haven't filed no complaint in regards to my injury. Now, I have filed a complaint in regards to the state insurance fund, and they were accepted. Both of them.
Okay. Now what we did is the only thing we concentrated on was what you were entitled to as far as.
Yeah, but you see, they used that what I was entitled to in regards to my complaint. Now, my complaint when I first filed in July 2nd was how is Carol Garland and Sandy Basket able to get me back to work, and plus the money that I was entitled to for the week that I was off when they tried to put me together. When they tried to put me back to work by that fraudulent job site evaluation that I didn't uncover until July 25th, and after that, I was finally paid that money for that week. So in reality, that's closed. But to me, it wasn't closed because they still haven't addressed the issue in regards to how were they able to get me back to work. Now, and then when I found out that they did receive my private health records without my authorization, I filed another complaint. And I have records of that right here in the agency's records.
Okay. Well, all right then. If it's.
And how come you don't have a copy of it?
Oh no! Again, it was our misunderstanding of what you're calling a complaint and what I call a complaint. But now that I understand what you're saying, yes, we do have that in our record.
Was it forwarded to the Supreme Court?
Yes. Everything. Yes, it was. It was forwarded to the Supreme Court.
Now, how come I was denied review of the records that were sent to the Supreme Court?
Denied.
Yeah, I was denied by the Supreme Court for access to what was filed, and I was denied. Now, is that because of the alterness of? Is it because of the alterness of some of these documents that went before the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court knows about it?
No, I can't answer for the Supreme Court. But if it went before the Supreme Court, then that's the.
Well, I was also denied final review of the records through the Industrial Commission. Is that also because of the alterations of the documents?
Well, we didn't alter any documents.
Well, then why was I denied all the way around from the Supreme Court through the Industrial Commission for final review of the records?
Well, Mr. Clark, you would have been sent a copy of the record before it was ever sent to the Supreme Court.
Well, I was wanting the records that the state insurance fund had, which I am entitled to those. Just like the attorneys right now, I can't get through to them. They won't take my faxes because I sat on the phone with them on my home phone and then faxed it through because I got a separate fax number. And all it does is ring. It won't allow me to send them anything.
To
to the law firm of Anderson, Julian Hall, because I also requested my medical records from them.
We were having problems with sending things to them yesterday as well. I don't know if it was just yesterday or other days, but we tried and we could not get things through to them for some reason yesterday. I don't know if it was other days you're talking about, but I know yesterday they must have had a problem with their fax.
Okay, then and you can't remedy. Okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and jump the gun here, and I'm gonna turn around and I'm gonna file that differently to you all, because I'm gonna request a hearing by the commission for final for I want to for on the merit of my case.
Okay. Now let me.
Because to me,
we don't have the remitter from the.
Now wait a minute. The remedy to me, because I want to respond back to that, then if it was filed prematurely, because I'm entitled to that, and not just sit there on the records and you all not responding to that filing that I just filed. I expect something back, saying that was filed prematurely, just like when I filed my thing before that I wanted everything forwarded to the Supreme Court in 2009.
Let me interject in here for a minute, okay? You will receive something from us regarding what you filed yesterday. If you were concerned about that 21-day deadline.
Well, I understand, but I still haven't even received anything from you guys stating that you guys had received that, and it was done prematurely. You see, I automatically assumed because somebody else had done that.
Yeah, we will do that. We will.
Well, can you please, because I'm on deadlines here, and.
Right, but if you're concerned about that 21 days.
Well, I have until the 4th. I've already talked to the Supreme Court on that one.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, they hear from me all the time too.
Okay, because again.
But this is my concern with you all, not the Supreme Court. See, this issue right here, what I filed with you all, is a separate issue, because to me, this is in regards to my claim, not my complaint, which went through you all and was given a commission number in regards to a complaint, not in regards to my claim, because it's a complaint against the state insurance fund, which is separate from the claim. And if that is what went before the Supreme Court, if that's what went before the Supreme Court is my complaint, then my claim is still sitting out there.
Okay, your complaint. Excuse me. Your
complaint.
I'm
well, that's because I'm on it.
Okay, no. Let me tell you.
Go ahead.
If it's your complaint with your claim with the state insurance fund that you're concerned about, that would be something that you would go through the division of insurance.
No. I was told when I filed it, and it even, that when you file, if you need to file a complaint against the Idaho State Insurance Fund, you have to file that under a separate filing. And that's exactly what I did. I filed my complaint against the state insurance fund. They responded to that complaint. Because that's when they hired the law firm. Well, Mr. Lee, who tried to intimidate me the first go around, gave it up and handed it over to the law firm of Anderson, Julian Hall. Now that's when they came involved, is during my complaint. And that's when Mr. Lynn came involved also, was during the complaint issues. Now, where am I at, ma'am, on my claim? Because my complaint, 030 whatever was my complaint, 2008-1305 is my complaint against the state insurance fund. This ain't my complaint. I mean, this ain't in regards to my claim, which I filed with you all with the number that you have in front of you, in regards to the, my request for the, for the hearing of the merit of my case. Because the merit of my case is the fraud. and the lies to the Supreme Court.
Okay.
That what? Did they just blow that off like a fart in the wind?
No, now that's again that you sent that in, and it's before the commissioners there, and we will, if it's premature, we will send you something.
Well, you all would know if it was premature, because I've been being told it was premature by 2 different people in the commission already.
Well, but if you've talked to Dina and I, we're not the attorneys, and we don't have the authority to send you something like an order or something like that. It's the commissioners are deciding on that, and you will receive something on that.
And how? Under the.
And it will be soon.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to go ahead and file it in a different way. That way they can respond to it better, because again, I did, send it to the wrong people. And I'm not going to send that to the to the Supreme Court, because I'm going to hand deliver it, because I'm moving back on the 3rd next month anyway.
Okay.
So that way I can handle this a little bit better, and I can be a little bit more voiceful for Lynn Luker's reelection. Y'all will be sending me something in regards to this soon.
Yes.
And how many days do you have to respond to something like this? Because I noticed in the filings that also that whenever there is a phone conference, we talk about things, but then in another phone conference, they'll say, well, we're going to discuss what we didn't talk about way back in the other phone conference. You see, so, it's not making sense, because I believe when I have a phone conference that everything was talked about, but obviously not, because that's how they play the game. You see, so, I'm not ignorant, which they thought I was, and then they have it posted to where I have an IQ of 68, which only 5% of the population has. So I must be really mental retarded. That's how they put it in their doctor's reports that the Supreme Court is reviewing it with. So it's coming to an end.
Well,
this is my life. This is my life. And again, do I have fear that something may happen because of who I'm up against? Do I have fear that I may have a bullet put in my head? Yes, I do. But you know what? This is my life. They have taken advantage. And I believe there's a little corruption going on over there with Steve Kenyon in regards to some of my emails that I received that I've got on a disk, that I've got saved on a hard drive, and also some phone conversations. You see, so, I don't give a shit about anybody's job but one person, and that person knows who it is. But everybody else, I don't give a shit about their job. I'll tell it how like it is, and I know there's corruption going on there in the damn clerk's office at the Supreme Court, because, I'm on it, and I'm not going to lie down. There's only one way I'm going to lie down. But you see, I'm not coming to harm anybody. I'm just coming to ask questions, which I have a right to do. And since I have been barred from the Industrial Commission, any building that they occupied, so that means I can't even go into an unemployment office in the state of Oregon to even try to look for unemployment, or otherwise I'll be arrested, in Idaho, because all unemployment offices the commissions occupy, because that's where Sandy Bassett also works. That's why they put it, or any building that the commission occupies, I could be arrested. Now, to me, that's a threat and intimidation to keep one from coming to investigate his claim. And if the Supreme Court's saying that I should be treated as an attorney, then why are people still not giving me that respect?
Well, and I don't know much about that.
Just like I was, like I told Steve Kenyon. Well, because there's got to be a way that I am allowed to review some way what's being filed with the Supreme Court, but I'm being denied that access because, as I told Steve Kenyon, what if I hired an attorney over here in Washington to handle you guys? What, you're going to tell him that the only way that he's going to be able to review the records is he has to come there in person to review them? Bullshit. Because when I was trying to get an attorney, one of the attorneys came back and talked to me about it, and he brought up something about how, they wanted to know everywhere I worked in a lifetime, and he was able to repeat that to me. So he read that somewhere because it's part of the records. So if he can review something like that, why am I being denied, and why am I not being spoken to honestly in regards to that, and how I can view those records that have been put before the Supreme Court, though they are my records.
Well, any records that we have that went to the Supreme Court were sent to you as well. So I'm not sure what records you're talking about.
Well, the alterations of the records that I have in my possession, that the Supreme Court said that that they wouldn't even look at when I said, well, here's one of these ones that came from the Industrial Commission that's whited out, so it's an altered document. Would you like to see it? And they said, no, we don't need to see it right now. If we need to see it, we'll ask you. Okay. But then they say that I didn't show nothing.
I can't answer for the Supreme Court.
Well, they're going to answer, or I'm going to jail, one of the two. But I got to wait till my son's here, and he'll be here tomorrow. And that's pretty important to me. You can ask anybody. And look into my filings, because my kids had a lot to do with me surviving all this. And I'm going to see my son and get them all together under the same roof now after 24 years. That's what's kept me together. And I'm going to tell you right after that, because I'm going to set my kids down, because it's been a strain with my kids because of what they've put me through and what I've had to fight. The lies that have been posted. They didn't even talk about the shit that's posted. What about that shit that's posted?
Can I ask you please to watch your language?
Sorry, ma'am. Okay,
right.
What about, where are we at about the stuff that is posted?
Well,
do you see that? Do you see that in that review? Or whatever, whatever it's called, the
anything that goes before
opinion?
the Supreme Court is posted. It becomes public.
You betcha. So that means when they said, because what's on their findings of facts that's posted, I fired an attorney because I didn't like the way he was handling my case, so I went pro se. But I got a letter stating otherwise from that law firm why Roger Brown quit. That's a lie that's posted.
Okay. All right. That.
And other lies.
Whatever has been posted in that opinion from the Supreme Court, that would have to be something that you take up with them.
Well, that's what I thought I just did, ma'am.
Well,
because what's wrong here, ma'am, is when you file a complaint against a state agency like the commission, you have to send that complaint to the State Industrial Commission before they send it to the Supreme Court. And then it's their obligation. You see where I'm at? I'm getting screwed.
Well, but if you have a complaint regarding what came out of from the Supreme Court, then it would need to be addressed to them.
Oh, it's going to.
Okay.
And I'm also going to refile what I filed to you all.
Okay.
Without the Supreme Court, but directly to you all, because again, I haven't had no hearing in regards to the merit of this case.
Okay. All right.
So, I think the merit of this case has a big impact on the outcome of this case because of the fraud, which that was before the Supreme Court, because right there on their little docket sheet, it says also fraud. Now, so I'm just kind of, are they saying that, and then they lied to the Supreme Court, saying that they didn't come into it until after the fraud was committed by Jewel Owens? But that's a lie. I got a document from that law firm of the letter that they wrote to get those records, because I requested it from the people that they got it from.
Okay, and I can't answer to that. I don't know.
Well, that's because you guys are almost broke over there, or doing something over there, from what I read on about the 15th. These federal judges wrote that something's going to happen here pretty quick, or you guys aren't going to run, or somebody's not going to be running pretty soon. But you see, and I'm not going to be a ploy for that, and Lynn Luker's going to answer to my questions. So, because I also believed that I also, through you all, because I got to do it through you, that I wanted Lynn Luker's lien also added. Now, that's where this comes in. I started looking at a bunch of my documents, and I see what you guys did to that one. I could see what the commission did to that particular document that I filed to the Supreme Court to add Lynn Luker to my appeal. And I'm going to tell you, those are also copies that I'm going to be handing out for Lynn Luker's reelection. Because clearly, and I ain't going to say which one it is, but boy, when you guys are trying to add in the old fax times, you guys should have been a little bit more careful. Because I got you. And it's going to come out. And it's going to come out. I mean, and then for Miss whoever you're taking over, oh yeah, you think just because she got transferred or somewhere or else or did whatever, I'll find her and I'll have her subpoenaed because those altered documents came across her desk and she had the responsibility to come forward and bring that attention to somebody. And then the law firm, this ain't all coming together here, ma'am. And I'm right now I can't wait till my son's here. But well, I'm telling you, man, they're cutting it close for me too. And when they said the 4th, well, I get paid on the 3rd, so I'll be there. So because it's taking everything I got to get him here. So I'll be there and I'll have that other one refiled differently to come tomorrow morning because I can't wait for you all to respond and say that that's been filed prematurely when I know that things been filed prematurely before. And boy, I got an instant respond back on that. And this one here, well, I know I just did it, the day before yesterday or whatever it was. I got it in my filing cabinet because I'm keeping a different filing system this time. So, okay, well, I guess, so you guys, the remedy, that must be that remedy, man. That must be what that means is I got a file in regard to this because they did lie. And from my understanding from the person that was with me, Mr. Hall looked over at old Rachel O'Barr and just shook his head because as soon as she got up there and I got up there and I showed, but that's where I'm not understanding is because, and because an appellate under the appellate rule, but I got to find it again, that even though the appellate does not use everything properly, but if it's in the wordings, it should be filed and accepted. So, I am not no attorney. So,
and I'm not either.
So, but I'm learning. I just learned how to read in prison, which, shouldn't have been gotten. And the Supreme Court wants to say that, we assume that he did give authorization because of the way that my writing is. Bullshit, man. If you look at my writing, man, it's all right there. It all makes sense. And they're saying that they couldn't understand it. Read my 2 briefs that I filed in regards to my hearing. Somebody's not reading them. Or something didn't go through to the Supreme Court like it should have. I'm telling you. So, okay, well, then I'll expect that letter from you all soon in regards to the premature filing of the hearing to be forwarded to, my case in regards to the merit of my case that I sent to you all to be forwarded to the Idaho Supreme Court. Then I'll just take the Supreme Court out and just specifically ask the commission for a hearing in regards to the merit of my case and see what they do on regards to that filing. Because I should be getting a file stating already that, it seems like I just learned that electronic filing is emailing. I just learned, so I just learned that because of the way that somebody said something this morning when I had filed something. And I was talking with the Idaho State Bar in regards to Lynn Luker. So electronic filing is emailing. And that's another issue that I haven't got orders on a lot of these things I was denied. And I want Steve Kenyon to forward those to me, and he never would. So, I'm on it, and like I said, if you ain't got nothing to hide, and that's why I posted everything I have on YouTube, Corruption in Idaho, You know, I mean, if they all think that I'm lying about him, then come sue me. Have me arrested, like Lynn Luker said that there's a report in the police report that he had, you know, whatever. I don't give a shit. Oh, sorry. My apology, ma'am. You know, because I have nothing to hide. Because I've got documents to back up my facts. Okay? And, you know, so, you know, because y'all are trying to make it look like Mr. Wilson or Mr. Holt agreed with Mr. Wilson. But isn't it a fact that it was Mr. Holt is the one when I found out that they received my private health records, and he wrote a biased opinion instead and stating I was faking bad because it was used. But they don't understand the reason why I didn't want to talk to him, because I was fighting before the Industrial Commission that those records weren't relevant. And matter of fact, they had already had him and sent him out to medical providers without even protecting because you see, so it's a state agency that committed this crime, Miss Jewel Owens, and it's posted out there. She thinks that I'm defaming her. Then come sue me. Come have me arrested, because it's going to be open right out on their sidewalk, because I won't be stopping anybody from coming and going, but I will be asking her from a blowhorn, come on, miss, you know, did you have permission? I'm coming. So, okay, well, I guess I'll wait for that letter from you in regards to premature filing, in regards to the merit of my case.
Okay.
And I'll refile that in a different manner, and I'll see you all probably on the 3rd. So, have a good day.
All right, thanks.
Well, that's that.